This is the Cortes family having dinner together on Saturday night. Snowpocalypse 2017.
It's
doing?
not snowpocalypsing.
Oh, you know. So we're at the dinner table and we are having our Italian dinner from Bambadetti's, which we love, right? Zoe, what did you go order?
Fettuccine Alfredo.
And what do you think of it?
It's delicious.
Mother?
I'm having the chicken piccata without mushrooms because I don't do mushrooms.
You don't like mushrooms? What?
I do not like mushrooms. I don't like the texture of them. I'm so on the flavor.
Mushrooms are weird. I'll give you that. I am having the classic spaghetti and the meatballs. I love the spaghetti and meatballs. I love it. And Bambadetti's, you know, as far as Italian places in town, is right up there. I mean, I like it because it's not like terribly fancy. It's kind of like a little bit down home. What do you think?
It's never ever crowded.
Even the bird thought that was funny. I like it fine. It's like old school. It feels
old
like
school.
it's the 80s. When you go in, it tastes like the spaghetti Italian food that you get in the 80s. Nowadays, food's a little more modern and interesting, but it's just good traditional Italian food.
Okay.
If you want basic Italian, if you want the traditional, down to the fact Italian.
Yeah, and one point of clarification, we have to say Zoe only eats fettuccine alfredo. No, that's not true because she also likes the spaghetti with butter sauce. But that's as far as her exploration into Italian food goes. Isn't that right, Zoe?
Yes, it is.
So anyway, so yeah, we're sitting at the table because, you know, there's always talk about, you know, families don't eat dinner at the table anymore. And we don't really either.
Because usually at home, we're not all here at the same time. And Zoe seems to feel uncomfortable with all three of us sitting at the table together in the house.
Because you're usually staring at me.
Well, you're so adorable.
you're
We have
so
to look at
cute.
you.
And we want to find out about your day. Don't stare at your daughter. Look.
She prefers to go to the dining room while we're sitting in the kitchen eating.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, it's like we all just kind of go to our respective areas with our apparatuses, and, you know. So we thought it'd be a good podcast to eat dinner
I think
with
it probably sounds
microphones
gross.
on the table as
I
we eat.
think it sounds awful. We should not be eating while we're doing a podcast.
But why not? All right? You
Mm-hmm.
know? Anyway, also, she's whispering. What's going on?
She wants more hot chocolate.
More hot chocolate. Zoe also made. Zoe, what did you tell us about what you made?
I made Victorian hot chocolate from scratch, where you boil some milk, you melt some chocolate, and you melt some water all together to make the chocolate sauce, and then you melt it all together into this delicious hot chocolate.
I'm sorry, I'm confused. Did you say you melt water?
What? I mix it into the melted chocolate.
Oh, okay.
You melt water? How do you melt
Now
water?
I will go refill my cup.
Will you get me some more as well?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Anyway, so we ordered fried ravioli. I've never had fried ravioli. I'm trying
I've
here.
had it before. I don't know that I like it that much from here.
Oh,
It's okay.
for the first time, not bad. Interesting.
It's okay.
So, also today, what happened? Not today, but yesterday, Michelle, when had surgery, right? She had some fibroids removed, right? Pretty common surgery, but it was so like assembly line. You know, it's like we got there at 6 o'clock, and you know, we're out of there by 10:30. It was like, you know, within there, they came in there, they put the thing on there, they put the bag on there, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you, wait in the waiting room, and I'm like, next thing you know, it's like, oh, she's gonna take it home. I'm like, we were home by 10:30. It's unbelievable. What do you think of it?
Yeah. Well, I was pretty out of it. Yeah. There's a little bit more going on than the fibroids, but yeah.
What does that mean?
It means I had 3 procedures.
What were the procedures?
Had a fibroid taken out, maybe more you can't remember when the doctor talked to you. I had a polyp that they had to take out, and then they did a another kind of procedure on my body that is kind of complicated.
Is that the one where they light a fire in you?
Pretty much, yeah.
There's a little fire inside of her. The fire burns within.
Yes, fully charred inside.
Fully charged. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm like, I mean, I don't know if this is good food conversation, but it's kind of interesting.
Sounds pretty barbaric to me.
Zoe, did you hear about this process? They set a fire inside of her.
It's not like I set a fire, but
Well, you.
They would like
Hey, microphone.
Ah, sorry. It's like when I did those stem burning classes things, we were melding copper together. I'm assuming they used a tool like that.
Yep, you're right. It's an electromagnetic kind of device.
And the point of that is,
Now, hopefully, we'll feel better.
I'm gonna have to go back in and erase all the.
I think we're not going to
Sound.
air this one. It's just practice.
This is not practice. We don't do practice.
No, we
We're
didn't. We
professional.
didn't
We're airing
introduce
this.
ourselves.
This is
Nothing.
great.
This is not great.
This is awesome. See, this is the thing. This is the difference between you and I. You're like, oh, you got to work it out. I'm like, you know what? You jump in with your 2 feet and you just go for it, right, Zoe?
Yeah, but then there's also the perfectionist side of me, where I feel like it has to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zoe and I are more perfectionist than you.
Well, I'm the one putting this together. I'm editing it. It's gonna be rock and roll. All right. So anyway, what else, Zoe? Oh, so Zoe on Thursday before the surgery, she had her orchestra, school orchestra, 72-member orchestra. I had no idea it was so big. Went to the high school and had a performance. Zoe, why don't you tell us about that?
We went to the Druid Hills High School. We all 72 of us, well, actually minus one because one person did not show up, all crammed into their art room downstairs. Took out our instruments and practice. We took out our instruments and practice. We tuned. We did that. We did all the fancy stuff. Then we went upstairs, sat on the stage. We were performing first, and we did Hanukkah lights and dreidels, and then we did Chant to Noel, and then after that we did Russian sailors, and the high school performed like 7 pieces and a little solo song. And then after that we all joined together and did Theme in Canyon D or Pachelbel Canyon or Pachelbel. And it was really, really fun and awesome.
Yes, and the two combined orchestras was like, I have to be over 100 instruments there, right?
Yeah.
There was 72, and how many were in their choir?
Their orchestra. Orchestra's different from choir.
Their orchestra. So like over 100 instruments. You know, there was like cellos everywhere, and
All the violins and violas piled downstage and were playing in the hallway.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was awesome. And we were very proud of you, Zoe. Even though I could barely see her, I'm like, she's in the back somewhere.
I could see her shoulder.
Like,
We just crammed in there where we could fit because cellos need a chair to sit.
Yeah. So that was Thursday, and then we had, Michelle's surgery on Friday morning. And then what else happened? Most amazing. This has been a crazy weekend. Okay. So, after I took Zoe to school and got I had to get some oxycodone for Michelle. And that was a mission in itself because I went to the CVS right across from the hospital. Oh, we don't carry that. It's a controlled substance, and they're looking at you funny. I got my hoodie on because it's like cold, and they're looking at me funny anyway. So then I'm like, no. So then I go to they're like, try the other CVS. And so I went to the CVS, nothing, and went to the Walgreens. It wasn't open. Didn't open till like 9:30. It was like 8:30. I'm like, oh my god. So I had to go to. I ended up at the one in Decatur, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have it. Oh no, wait, I think we have it." So
I got the last of the Oxy.
the last of the Oxy. You got the last of the Oxy. It was like, oh wait, I think we had it.
I don't understand why they gave me 30 pills because I probably only need maybe 4.
Oh, she got 30 pills.
most.
Woo.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to trying one of those. Kidding. Disclaimer. Anyway, so get back and like I'm running around trying to get the damn Oxy, and the hospital calls me. Are you in the waiting room? I'm like, no, I'm not in the waiting room. I'm trying to get the damn Oxy. Oh, well, she's almost out. I'm like, already? I'm like, already? She's almost out already? It was for like an hour, and not even an hour. It felt like. So anyway, I was able to get the thing and the Oxy at that place, and so I run back in there, and they're like, I sat in a waiting room for literally like I sat down and put on my headbuds and I was listening to one song, and then they were like, oh yeah, she's ready for you. I'm like, oh, already? Good God. So we went back there, and she was already awake, and the nurse was like, are you ready to go? You done? You good? You feel good? You feel good? You ready to go?
You ready to go?
It's like,
They were rushing
we need
us
the
out.
room. We got to go. It's an assembly line, man. They're like, yeah, don't worry. You bring your car around. You bring the car around. We'll bring her around. And they practically threw her on the wheelchair. I'm like, bring the car around. Ooh. I don't think I slowed down. I'm like, stop. All right, get her in. Throw her in the car. There you go. Have a nice day. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
They literally kick you out of that place.
Yeah, they did.
They want all the rooms free.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had said I would have an hour in recovery, and then they just like kicked me out.
No, it's not even an hour. They're like, are you feeling good? Are you feeling all right? How you feeling? How you feeling? You feeling good? All right. Yeah. And so, Michelle was out of it. We came home, and, I wanted to get her a little bell so she could ring it. Ding, 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 ding.
You didn't provide me a bell.
Hello, I need some tea. I need some more water. Anyway, so I was exhausted. I mean, we all were. We both were. I mean, she was obviously, but we had got up early.
And
What?
then...
But wait. Then I'll cue you, okay? So I was like, all right, finally get on. Fed the dogs. Michelle's situated. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to take a nap. It's like 11, like 40 something, right? I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to take a nice nap. I'm in my bed, right? And then what happens?
And then the school calls you to tell you that it's a snow day and all the students are being released early.
Yep. Down comes the snow. And they call, by the way, they call at, the text came in at 11:50, right? They're like, oh, we're letting school out at noon. I'm like, 10-minute warning, right? I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, oh God. So I go over there. I get there like 5 minutes after noon. Okay. I'm like, and that place is eat up. I mean, all the stay-at-home moms are in line. They're like, wow. I mean, this is crazy, right?
May I add to the story? While you were running around looking for medicine, I was having the best social studies or fourth period ever, because the people who annoy the subs begged her to let us go outside while it was snowing, and she eventually let us go outside for like 20 minutes, and we played in this falling snow outside. And then she made us take our test.
Oh, well, that's not right. So anyway, I'm in line to get Zoe at like, noon 05. And I'm thinking, oh man, I'm so exhausted. And I'm thinking, Zoe got up at 5 too, so she's probably exhausted too, right? But anyway, I'm in line and I get a call on my cell phone, and it's Zoe, and she's like out of her mind going, it's snowing, oh my God, it's snowing. Can I go with Sheena? I'm going to go with Sheena. We want to go to the house. I'm going to go play the snow. Blah, blah.
I was not saying it's snowing, it's snowing.
What did you say? You were going crazy, were you not?
I was very excited.
Uh-huh.
But I was telling Daddy, did you know that school's being released early?
Yeah. I think you were a little high-pitched and full of energy. Anyway, so I'm like, oh, my God. So I'm not like, oh, my God, of course. It doesn't snow here a lot, so of course they want to play in the snow, even though I know she's exhausted, but whatever. So they're like, she has plans already. She already has plans. I don't even know if the other parent knows about these plans.
Yeah, they make their plans on their
They
own
make
and
the
then
plans
inform
on
the
their-
parents.
Exactly. And so I'm like, okay, let's, first of all, you're in a uniform and a skirt. We need to go gear up, okay, if you want to play in the snow. So, and I need to talk to her Sheena's mom and see if it's cool, right? So we come home and we're like, she's got these snow pants that she hadn't worn in forever, and of course they're like super tight. But she's like, no, they're good. Let's go. I'm good. They're good. So she's like, oh, I'll put some duct tape on them. They're good. I added that part. She didn't say that, but they were
rolling
tight.
her eyes at you.
They were tight, but she squeezed into them, and she used her mama's boots because apparently they cleaned her closet last week, which we'll talk about at some other podcast. But anyway, so we went and they had this sled that her grandmother gave last year. Was that last year? Year before. Never used a sled, and she wants to use a sled, and
it did not work.
why not? Tell me.
Only the 70-pound second grader.
I think you need a steeper hill
Yeah.
for you guys.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Maybe I'll try on our hill this morning.
I was watching him try to do that, and it was humorous.
You weren't there.
Anyway,
Showed me some video.
I had the video. I was there. I was watching you guys. Anyway, so then that turned into an overnight. So, and then I came home and finally got my nap. Thank you very much.
I felt that I had been abandoned all day long.
You were asleep. I thought you were
I
up.
woke up numerous times, but it didn't sound like anyone was in the house. I thought you had just left me to die on my own.
Oh, yeah. I get this text. Where are you? I need this. I'm like, I'm sleeping. Like, oh, I didn't think anybody was here. I'm like,
Because I had woken
I'm
up
like, ring
two
your
other
bell.
times. There's no bell. I had woken up two other times and the house was so quiet.
except for the soft rumbling of Eddie snoring downstairs.
It's more like an
That's
elephant.
not soft. It's like
That would be soft compared to him.
that's what it sounds like through a muffled wall.
Why did you get the shoe? What's this about?
Anyway,
This
so
is a shoe. It's not for dogs.
and Tora, yeah, our dog Tora gets into everything. She's insane dog. Anyway,
She's not
that's-
insane.
We'll save that for another podcast.
The story of Tora
the
Grace
story of
coming
Tora,
into our
yes,
house.
exactly.
Beautiful toy.
So
right?
yeah, we've been eating here. My spaghetti's fabulous. I love their spaghetti there.
Oh yes, my mother they gave her this nausea patch to put behind her ear. She's been wearing it since Friday morning at 5.
I'm leaving it on till tomorrow.
What did you tell us? How does the field beyond oxycodone?
I couldn't tell that it did anything. It's a very small dosage, 5 milligrams or something, and I didn't notice anything, but I did sleep all night. But I took it and I was awake for a couple more hours. I didn't feel like I was loopy or anything. Maybe I'm just naturally, I don't even know what the word is.
Crazy.
Not crazy, just not affected by the drug. I don't know.
Well, there you go. So
I'm drug resistant. That's what I'm drug resistant.
Drug resistant, she says. Okay. So how's your? Oh, Zoe's packing up her fettuccine alfredo,
I am full.
and that's okay to be full. But
And just so you know,
No,
you are not allowed to
listen.
eat it.
listen to me. Okay,
Listen to me.
this
You're
is-
not allowed
this-
to eat her food or my
This is the
food.
rules of leftovers in the fridge. Okay. Okay. This is common law.
A few weeks ago, he decided after we had another pasta dinner, he decided that he should have the leftovers. He ate his leftovers. Then he ate my leftover fettuccine alfredo, which I was looking forward for my lunch. And he was thinking about eating Mama's
It
leftover
was.
pasta.
Luckily, I grabbed it before he got to it.
Why were you on a pasta purge?
Okay, if I may. I've always been in charge of the leftovers.
No!
It is true. It is true. But besides that, Tora, get out of that shoe.
Leave it.
It is. I think it's universally agreed upon by all families everywhere that leftovers. After leftovers are in the fridge for 3 days, then all claims are relinquished.
That could be,
It's
but that
fair
hadn't
game.
even been 12
It
hours.
was, what do you know? It was.
We ate them the night before.
No.
Eddie,
No.
we went out to eat that night. The next morning, you ate her food because you
Okay.
were hungover and you wanted
What?
something to
Huh?
eat.
What? Me hungover? Never. Okay, fine. But just to establish, is this rule in effect now? 3 days?
No,
No,
you asked permission.
So if it's not your leftovers. You have to ask permission
But
to
listen,
eat that leftover.
here's the thing. There was some waffles in there from Waffle House
Just
that's
don't
been there
eat
for a
my
month.
fettuccine
Okay,
Alfredo.
and nobody was eating that. All right.
I just want you to know, just don't eat my fettuccine Alfredo.
Listen, if it's there from 3 days from now, it's gone. Is
no.
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Those are the rules of the house. Okay.
You can't force us to follow rules that you just picked up, Mr. Dictator.
This is standard stuff here. Okay. See, if not, you end up with those waffles that have been there for a month and a half.
They were not moldy. They were perfectly.
Oh,
fine
so you're gonna eat
waffles.
them then? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh,
I don't want
okay.
any frozen waffles because we ate Waffle House that day. Why do I get the shoe?
Because I don't know what to do with it.
Where's the
Anyway.
sole?
Ask Tora.
Where's the sole?
Where's the soul? I don't know what's happening. But anyway, I got grief for that. But so I
You
have to go out
deserve
today.
it because you ate almost ate everyone's leftovers without asking for permission to eat any of our leftovers, and then it was just awful because I was starving
Anyway.
until dinner because it was after Girl Scouts, and after Girl Scouts I don't get to eat.
Anyway, but to make up for that, I went out today in a snowstorm, and the whole city shut down. I had to go out and get her fettuccine Alfredo because I was tired of hearing it for weeks on end.
Just so you know, it
You're
wasn't.
welcome.
Just so you know, it wasn't snowing when you went out for this.
What do you mean? It was like a hurricane gust winds out there. How do you know?
Clouds?
Have you been out there?
The clouds.
We've looked on weather.com.
The clouds disappeared this afternoon.
Oh my God, you guys are crazy. Dog's hacking up a lung over here. I don't know what's happening.
She's hacking up a fur ball.
Anyway, so stop it pulling the wires.
She wants to be in the podcast.
The dog is
We
pulling
should
on the
give Tora a
microphone
mic
wires.
so she can talk.
Stop it. Get out of here.
Come here, Tora. She wants to be part of it.
It's a screwdriver.
Careful.
It's a screwdriver.
Anyway, I think it's been good conversation here so far.
Sure.
We've been yakking for about 20-something plus minutes, and Zoe's finished her food. It looks like you're finished your food, and
You're never done eating, so you'll continue to eat.
He was about to eat 3 servings of pasta that one day. So he ate 2
Anyway,
servings
oh my
of pasta.
God.
I will talk about that
I'm like Rodney
because it
Dangerfield
was a
here. I get no respect.
violation of leftovers.
Okay, stop touching the mic. Do not touch the mic.
Yeah,
Okay.
when you touch it, it makes noises.
Okay, just talk into it. Move it over towards your mouth. All right, so I think we're going to call this a successful first podcast.
Let's see how the quality turned out.
Oh, the quality's going to be awesome.
I don't-
Because I'm just going to leave my mic up and I'm going to shut yours down. It's going to be me talking.
Well, that's how it is all the time.
So there will be no rant about leftover pasta.
Leftover pasta. We'll have to check back in and see who gets the pasta. But I've learned my lesson, and I will stay away from the fettuccine Alfredo.
Or order your own.
What was that?
You could order your own and have broccoli and chicken in it.
Oh, what now?
You could order your own and have broccoli and chicken in it. Because hers
Um,
is just plain.
Yeah.
It's delicious, but hopefully you'll stay away from it.
Anyway, no whispering in the podcast. There's no whispering in this podcast. Okay.
There's no whispering in
No
podcasts.
whispering in the podcast. We gotta get Benedetti's to sponsor this.
Lord.
I don't want to eat pasta every Saturday.
No. Okay. Anyway, so and now Zoe's eating whipped cream with her hot chocolate.
With her hand.
So yeah, hopefully
Really?
we'll do this again, and thanks for tuning in.
Nobody tuned in.
Goodbye.